Hey everybody, I'm Mark Walters with BigFanboy.com, sitting here once again with Michael Biehn and the very lovely Jennifer Blanc-Biehn. And I want to first of all start off by saying, because since the last time we've seen each other, you are now parents. Congratulations on the new little one. That is so awesome.
Thank you.
And how adorable. Seriously.
Oh, thank you. We
I
love
can't get
him.
enough of the pics.
Oh,
So,
thank you.
yeah.
I can't either, apparently.
Yeah, well, there's nothing wrong with that. You're proud. It's what you do. We're here at San Diego Comic-Con
Yep.
and celebrating the 30th anniversary of Aliens. Congratulations on that. First of all, one of the greatest, probably one of the greatest, if not the greatest sci-fi movie of all time. I
Thank
think
you.
so.
I for a long time have not. I mean, I guess I've felt it, but I've never said it until today. And I've been doing some interviews today, and there's Blade Runner, and there's The Thing, and there's a lot of good movies, but I truly kind of believe now, just because of I still get like young people, real young. I mean, so young I can't believe their parents let them watch the movie that'll come up to me and say, "This is my favorite movie."
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
Aliens. I love Hicks. And people with tattoos of aliens and Sigourney Weaver and it's just been this amazing journey for me to actually kind of really say what I believe, which is I think it's the best science fiction, fan-friendly science fiction movie ever made.
Yeah, well, it's because it's the first that I can recall that really perfectly blended
Yeah.
sci-fi and action,
Yeah.
and put it in such a way that you were like, okay, yeah, these two can coexist together, and they can work, and they can be beautiful as an end result. Now, because of the anniversary, this has also seen you getting back out on the road with a lot of the cast and crew. How has that been after 30 years of you guys kind of going your separate ways and
Well,
coming back
we
together?
haven't really necessarily gone our separate ways per se.
Rico Ross is in the Woods.
Yeah,
They see each
it's
other.
Yeah.
it's like 30 years has not gone by.
Mhm.
One of the things that I can say about this cast is that I've never heard anybody say anything while we were shooting, during intense times that we were shooting, afterwards in the bars, whatever. I've never heard anybody say anything negative about anybody else in the cast,
Yeah.
or the director, or the producer.
Yeah, that's rare.
And it is rare.
Yeah.
It's very rare because actors are vain people, and they're very opinionated and
Get threatened, feel threatened,
and
feelings hurt.
but everybody, I think, knew, no matter what part they had in that movie, that it was really important for them to deliver on that part.
Mhm.
And so nothing else really kind of mattered. It's like Paul Reiser was talking about, the fact that like he just came in and he just wanted to make sure that he didn't screw up the
Right,
movie.
right. I think it's going to be great. He did. He was very funny
No, he's always
in
very
this
funny.
panel he did. But yeah, he was like, if I just don't mess up my one little part.
But it was so beautifully written, as from an actor's standpoint, and so few words, really. People ask me, well, how'd you come in? You came in so late, no rehearsals or whatever. If you look at Hicks, he didn't say that much.
Yeah.
He didn't say much, and it was pretty easy to come in and take over that role. But it is the vernacular of the Marines, and then the relationship, the kind of that flirtation that Sigourney and I have, worked so beautifully.
Yeah.
And for me, I don't really get a chance to play that. I mean, the Terminator was a completely different type of
Love
thing,
story.
Right.
I think Sigourney is not known for that kind of flirtatious type of thing,
Yeah.
And I just watched the movie about 8 months ago, and because I was flipping through the channels, and I got to the part where the shell was falling open, and it was right at the beginning of the movie, and I thought, 'cause I was on the channel with no commercials, and I thought, well, I'll watch it for a while. So I watched the whole thing.
Yeah,
over
it's
again,
hard
like
to walk away
eight,
from.
8 months ago. Eight
You
months
can't,
ago.
you can't watch a few
And-
minutes of
and-
Aliens. It
right.
just doesn't
You
work.
just stop
Yeah.
and stay.
And
Yep.
it was, I'm so proud to be a part of that movie. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just so proud to be
He keeps
a
getting
part
emotional.
of it. Yeah, I mean,
You're gonna be a mess tomorrow.
yeah, I really, for the first time, am getting a little emotional about
Yeah.
a movie that I've been in, and it's only
nice
because
to
I
see.
know that like people that react to it still in a way like they reacted to it 30 years ago. People
Yeah.
who see it for the first time, you know.
Well, we
And-
talked, the very first interview we did, we talked about how your reading on the character was very different from the original
Oh, right,
conception
right.
of the character, and that you helped to bring that life to Hicks that was not maybe didn't pre-exist when it was
Well,
original.
Not the
So-
flirtation, but the softness.
Yeah, the softness, yeah.
The thing that I did, and I've always tried to do, but it worked particularly well because this was a particularly well-written script with an incredible cast and an incredible crew and an incredible story and so on and so forth, is I've always tried to support my leading woman in a movie and give it up to her, and this is written that way.
Yeah.
I mean, Hicks basically, Hicks is in charge. Oh, I'm in charge? Okay, well, she's going to make the decision.
Yeah.
Because she's the smart one here.
Yeah.
She's the one who's been
Experienced
involved
this.
in this,
Yeah.
experienced this, right? And it's just beautifully written, but at the same time, too, I'm just like, I'm proud. I'm really proud of this movie and really proud to be a part of it and really just, I haven't really gotten this emotional really about a movie ever, I don't think, until today, really. And I've been, thousands and thousands and thousands of fans that have talked to me about this movie. And it might be hard for me to get through tomorrow. We'll see. I'm not that kind of guy.
Get
I
everybody in
don't
the
even
audience to
watch
hold
my
hands.
own movies, but yeah,
Kumbaya.
yeah. But it's. I'm just, I want to say blessed. It's got a religious overtone to it, which I don't really mean, but
Mhm.
just I feel blessed if that, kind of without the religion.
Yeah.
You are blessed.
Well, and it's great too that
Many ways.
because you guys coming together and doing your own production company and putting out movies together, and now you're directing your second film, The Girl, which is coming out, and then we've also got Hidden in the Woods. And the thing that I appreciate is kind of goes back to what you were saying a second ago about how in Aliens, it's like you have the respect to show that a woman can very much be in charge, and you guys are applying that to your filmmaking process by having women directors. And,
Yes, a lot.
Yeah,
I mean, we were just talking about that. Is 95% of our directors are women. We do have men directors.
Right.
They're wonderful. But we have a lot of female directors that have come through, and a lot of female producers too. And it's I guess one of the things was that you were saying, that Tony had said before, was the communication element with women might be what we're noticing to be a little bit on more of an emotional level, more intricate, at least with our films. I don't think that was me in particular. I don't think I came from that point of view when directing. I think I was still like yelling and screaming and producing, but
yeah,
I think the majority
yeah.
of women will kind of come from a little bit down here as opposed to up here.
And you guys also have the unusual added layer to your relationship in that I can't think of any other Hollywood couple that has directed each other and acted for each other in the way that you two have. So talk a little bit about that dynamic and finding that right balance and being under each other's control that way.
You say balance.
I know,
Balance,
I know
you
what
say?
you're getting at. Yeah.
And being under control, yes, I am under his control.
Well, listen, this just kind of happened.
Now I'm slap happy,
this isn't
rolling
any-
around.
This isn't anything that like was kind of planned or this just happened that like I worked with Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino and did Grindhouse and all of a sudden I thought, well, maybe I'll make a movie, and an opportunity came up, and I didn't have any time to do it, and I didn't have any money to do it, so I went out and made it in 12 days, and it turned out
Friends and
good enough
family.
that a distributor picked it up, a good one, Anchor Bay,
Yeah.
and it's out there now, and it's playing, and people are watching it, and then we thought, well, let's do another one, you know,
Yeah.
and and so now we've done over, wow,
15 maybe. I mean, we've got 3 in prep, 3 in editing, you know, 4 or 5 in distribution, 4 or 5 out. You know,
and a lot of women,
I'm
by
not
the way, a
saying it
lot of
exactly
women,
right,
somehow this theme keeps coming up today, and maybe it's because I didn't know this part of an agenda or something, but I've worked for women directors before.
Sure.
I've worked for Gail Hurd too.
Yeah.
You know, she's not a director, but she's a producer. And like, you know, if you're not on the set when you're supposed to be on the set, then you know you're going to have to face little Gail, and you know you don't want to do that. You know.
I've had dinner with her. I was scared to death the entire time. I kept
Were
thinking she
you?
was going to tell me I was eating wrong.
No,
No, she was.
she's lovely in a social way, but she's. I mean, the idea that, I mean, tell it to Margaret Thatcher, you
Yeah.
know, tell it to Hillary Clinton. I mean, you know, you know, they can't direct a movie, you know, I mean, it's
Crickets.
ridiculous.
Crickets.
It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And why there are so few of them, I don't know. I think the only thing, and this is the first time I've said this, and we've been talking about it all day today, is I think that more boys grow up as kind of fanboys of these kind of movies that people are watching
Fair.
today. There are more boys that watch that, more girls that are maybe not, you know, into Captain America as much
I
as.
think it's changing, but you
But,
probably are
but
right. That's
all
where it
those
started.
stars, all these
Yeah.
these Marvel characters, they're all men, right?
Yeah.
There's Superwoman or Supergal,
Supergirls,
Supergirl, and there's 1 or 2 characters, but they're mostly men. And I think that most young boys gravitate to that kind of stuff, and the ones that want to become directors gravitate to that kind of stuff, and girls maybe not so much. That's the only reason I can give, because, you know, there's no reason, there's just no reason in the world why a woman couldn't do any job that didn't have to do with physicality. And we've got women now that are going into combat.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
Which
Yeah.
I'd like to thank all of the women and men that are out there, that are in the military. I would just like to thank you for keeping me and my family safe.
Absolutely. Well, and women have a lot to say, and that's the thing. It's like we want to hear those voices, and
Yeah.
so it's great that you guys are giving women a chance.
Yeah, and
on
it's
these films.
I think that it came up because Loney, one of our producers, had a quote in one of the press releases about what we were doing with women directors, because we started to notice the trend was we have male directors and they're great, but it's in our company it happens, women happen to outweigh the men in the director's seat, and that is not usual.
Right.
So
I know we got to wrap this up because you guys have one more to do, and then I think
You know, and then
then
we're
you
gonna
got a
sleep
huge
with our
day
child,
tomorrow.
and Michael's
so,
got a big day.
But
We have a
let's
little
just
bit.
real quickly talk. Like, so we got the girl, we got Hidden in the Woods. What other Blanc-Biehn productions can we look forward to?
So the Night
coming up?
Visitor Chronicles is coming out
Right.
as a package through E1 and Splash House beginning of November. December 2nd, limited theatrical release, Hidden in the Woods, also showing at Sieges in October. The Girl is going to show at the Burbank Film Festival, AMC 16, September 9th, and then comes out the first week in January. And then Psychophonia was just acquired by E1 and Splash House.
Very, very
So,
cool.
excited.
And who's directing who next? That's what I want to know.
I think neither one of us are directing anymore. At least I'm not. I think he should, and
Yeah?
he should direct me again because I trust him.
You know, I've got this like beautiful. I've got 5 beautiful,
5 boys.
5 beautiful boys, but I've got one who still depends on me.
Yeah.
And
He's running around. He's running circles around
and,
Sue over there.
That's kind of my next production.
Very,
Now,
very
he's
cool.
he's the best production by far that we will ever do, have ever done, and I've ever done in my life. So
Yeah.
I'm very proud.
And we can't end this interview without a shout out to our favorite mother scratcher, Brian McQuarrie.
Brian McQuarrie.
Brian,
Woo!
right.
On behalf of everybody watching, Michael Biehn, Jennifer Blanc-Biehn, I always love talking to you guys. This is officially our shortest interview ever, but it's still a good one.
It's still a good one.
And we'll see you guys later. Thanks so
Bye.
much.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was great.